Hello class, my name is Dane Franklin and this is a demonstration of my capstone project, Apex, a web application that digitizes Navy's performance evaluations, starting with the junior enlisted evaluation. I'll walk through the completed application, the technology stack behind it, and what I deliberately left out of scope, and then I'll close with a personal reflection. Authentication is handled by Supabase. Bad passwords get rejected server-side with a sanitized error, meaning no implementation details get leaked. Once the sailor signs in successfully, the role-based access engine shapes their dashboard, meaning this user only sees the evaluation in their custody. On the dashboard, each card shows its live routing status and the next action required. 5 roles, 20 permission actions. Everything downstream starts from this check. New accounts self-register with their unique details. Apex sends a secure email verification link. No one gains access to the system until the email address is confirmed. This is the evaluation editor, organized in the same numbered blocks as the official form. Apex breaks this into sections: administrative data, traits and performance grades, comments on performance, and recommendations. All fields align perfectly with the published evaluation manual. Now check this out. Watch the comments block as I type. The text wraps exactly as the printed form will. 10 or 12 page, career, 90 characters align. So what you see here is precisely what prints. Now let's check out the validation engine. I will deliberately drop a trait point to 1.0. Verify rule runs the draft against the cross-field checks implemented straight from the Navy evals instruction. And it catches both problems. A 1.0 must be substantiated in comments, and it conflicts with promotable recommendation. Each violation cites the rule it comes from. Restore the grade, verify again, and the report passes clean. Now for a demonstration of the chain of command working live in 2 separate sections side by side. On the left, the sailor routes the finished draft forward. On the right, the moment the raider checks their queue, the report is waiting in their custody. That transition happened to server side through a service role route. The database itself only lets the current custodian write to a report, so the browser can never bypass the chain. The routing works both ways. A reviewer can recycle a report back one step. Corrective feedback is mandatory, and the full recycle history stays on the sailor's timeline for the sailor to act on. Now as a reporting senior, let's demo summary groups. Now sailors competing in the same pay grade are ranked together. Navy policy caps the top recommendations, at most 20% early promote. This group of 4 shows the pooled trait average that feeds block 50 alpha and the live quota tracker. 1 early promote allowed, currently within limits. 1 more, and Apex blocked the group from closing. Now for certification. Each signature is gated by role. Only the reporting senior can sign block 50. The signer will type their name, draw the signature, and because Navy Evaluations demands non-repudiation, re-enters their credentials, which is verified server-side before anything is stored. Sign and certify, and the signature is applied, and the report is locked. And there you have it. That's a complete audit trail. That signature recorded who applied it, when it was applied, alongside every report and op and correction in the report's lifespan. And now finally, the output. The export portal revalidates the report, then renders it onto the official form, in this case the NAVPERS 1616/26, with the data baked on at precise coordinates in a courier font, just the way it will print on the official form. One click downloads the PDF, finalizes the report, and returns the user to the dashboard. The tech stack is Next.js 14 with React and TypeScript. Supabase providing Postgres, authentication, and roll-over security. Zod for schema validation, and PDFlib with an embedded courier font for document rendering. This is all backed by 158 integration tests plus 3 end-to-end Playwright specs, and deployed to production on Vercel. My guiding principle throughout development: never trust a browser. Every rule is enforced twice. 3 planned items deliberately did not make it into the final build. 1. Continuous integration wiring for end-to-end tests, which runs locally against CEDA database today. 2. Summer group breakout by unit code. Schema is ready, but not required for my target pay grades. And 3, the implementation of other report types, such as chief evals and officer fitness report. The architecture is the same, but each one carries its own set of validation rules. Now, what did I gain from this project? Technically, this was my first time owning a full end-to-end, full-stack project on a strict timeline, where I had to design the database schema, security policies, API layer, and the UI to all work cohesively. My biggest takeaway is that access control design in the UI does not translate to database access control. And that lesson made me go back and check out a project that I was working on where I designed a two-factor authentication system. And even though in the UI it seemed to work perfectly, go through authentication, issued a token, and the UI portion was pretty much just for show. My second biggest takeaway was the discipline that it took building from primary sources. Every feature came from reading the actual instruction and translating those business rules into code, which turned out to be very different from working from a wish list. But I wanted to practice this because I know in a corporate development environment, strict rules will have to be followed. A third, real project management. The weekly milestones forced me to slice this big system into demonstrable increments, using tests suite as a barometer for what will actually ship. I learned that the tests are much easier to write when they're written simultaneously as the feature is being developed, and this is the way I'll be developing all projects from now on. My biggest challenge was that my original security policies only let creators of an eval see that actual report. Of course, this didn't work when the evaluation needed to travel up a chain, so I had to redesign the row-level security around custody, which touched every layer of the app. A second challenge was simply sourcing the official form to use in the app. I learned the differences between XFA and PDF forms. Initially, I wanted to use a fillable PDF, but the correct version of such a form did not exist, at least not in a true PDF format. So I tried to use XFA, but it presented a lot of limitations and inconsistencies. So in the end, I abandoned the approach and I went with a overlay on a PDF, which turned out to be the right decision. If I were to start over, I would design the custody model and the security policies first and not retrofit them. That redesign was the most expensive rework. In closing, Apex set out to digitize the Navy's evaluation and workflow end-to-end and provide an irrefutable artifact which is worthy of a sailor service record. That goal was met, and you saw it working. Thank you for watching.